So you don't have a homeschool room? Not a problem. Let me show you what I do. Welcome to Plan, Prep, Pray. Hey girlie, my name is Wendy and I am a homeschooling mom of 4 little ones, and on this channel I talk about all things homeschooling, homemaking, mommy self-care, and kids empowerment. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. So we actually have a room that we can use for homeschool if we wanted to, but we decided to use it as an office. We've found that working all together around the table or on the island or in the living room on the couch, we find that that works better for us when it comes to homeschooling. So if I ever need to separate one of the children so that they can have some focused time where they're not distracted by the other ones, I usually just send that child to the office to get that focused work done. But for the most part, we tend to school within the same area and around each other. We have tried having a homeschool room in the past and we just never stayed in it. It was never I guess comfy enough, and we found that it doesn't really contain the mess for us in any way, so we just don't need it. So I'm gonna show you where we actually house our homeschool things and how we keep our homeschool things organized. So let me turn this camera around. So this is a linen closet that houses our extra curriculum that we are not necessarily using on a daily basis. So let's start at the bottom. Way at the bottom, you'll see some extra scrapbook bins, and those bins are just bins. Oh my gosh, I almost fell. Those bins are just bins that I take, and for example, if children are not listening and they're not putting away certain toys, because we have cubbies with toys, those toys come in here for a few weeks and they go in those bins and they stay in here for a few weeks and maybe like a week or two, and then we'll try again and see if you know, the children do a better job at cleaning up or not using that toy as a weapon. So that's that. Over here we have a cash register that the kids used to play with, but the homeschool stuff. So this is a bin for my son was really into the Imagination Station, the Adventures of Odyssey, and read all 24 books. So this is where we are keeping those books until my daughter is ready to read them. Then this is a box of cars for my other son that he gets during school time. So those are special cars for school time, special food for school time. And in here we have a lot of our games that we like for them to, educational games, logic games that maybe I can do a video on what's in here. Maybe you guys would like to see that. Let me know in the comments. This is our sensory bin with toys to play in this, with sensory toys to play. That those sands are heavy. This bin right here is our flashcard bin, and it just houses extra flashcards that we have. In this bin right here, we have our extra. If you've seen my preschool curriculum picks video, I change out once a week our matching, sorting, and fine motor skills. So this bin houses all the extra or additional fine motor, matching, sensory things. And I pick from this bin and I put it in his small bin that you see in the preschool curriculum picks video. Now, this is our trays for when he's using these fine motor activities, as well as our sensory bins. In here, we have letters and numbers that are sandpaper. And what we do when we do our handwriting curriculum, I use a Farmhouse Fools handwriting curriculum, and we do one letter, one number a day. And so I'll take out that letter and that number for our preschooler, and I'll allow him to trace it with his finger, trace that letter and number, just so that he gets practice, since he is not doing any handwriting right now. Then up here is our extra Math UC blocks, and we have our Math UC curriculum in here. This is where I house the curriculum, but I actually pull from here and place it in the children's bins. During the week, I pull a week's worth of curriculum and place it in their bins. Over here is our art supplies bin, and this is what Daddy uses to do art with the kids, and those are all the supplies that he needs. In here we have our African American studies, all of our books that we use for that, as well as nature studies. Up here is a bin that we're not using this year. It has extra Math UC, and we also have the Good and the Beautiful History Year 2 and Year 3, and just extra science curriculums and such that we're not using this year, but we're keeping them to use next year. Up here we have our, if you've seen my preschool curriculum video, I have extra, I have different levels of preschool curriculum for my son. And so this is where I house it until he's ready for that level. And then I pull it from here and place it in the spot where his curriculum that he's currently using goes. Up here, we have a big United States puzzle, as well as some more educational games for our little one. And way up top is our space science teaching toolbox box that we purchased. And it just pretty much houses all the supplies that are needed for space science. Teaching toolbox is no longer available, but we snagged that right before they shut down. Now, underneath here is where we keep all of the children's curriculum. I don't know if you hear my little ones outside there in the swimming pool laughing. But so this is where we keep all of their curriculum, and we pretty much keep it separate. So my oldest curriculum is under here, middle is here, and then my youngest that is schooling is over there. This is underneath our kitchen island. So inside of here, it has 3 rows, and the top row is usually books that my children are reading. So for my oldest, this is all of the Good and the Beautiful books that we got for him, as well as his Pokemon notebook. Because now on this shelf is his bin and his school box and his school folder. Let me take this out so I can show you what's in here. Okay, so this is pretty much what is inside of their cabinets. So everyone has a folder, and like I said, I will definitely go through and discuss more what's inside of each folder and how we utilize it in a separate video. Now, inside of their bins, which his is filthy because he's used it last year, but anyways, everybody has a little pencil pouch. Their pencil pouch has 2 pencils because they will lose their pencils and they will ask me for pencils. But every year I start off with 2 pencils and I let them know, I put their names on it so that if I find the pencils in different spots, I know whose pencil it is. And so everyone has 2 pencils, everyone has a highlighter, a dry erase marker, and a pair of scissors. Now, that's not true. My preschooler does not have markers because then everything will be colored. So he just has a pencil and a pair of scissors. No markers for him. So, but the other two do. They also have colored pencils. Everyone has their own pack of 12 colored pencils. I actually, if you look at my homeschool planning video, I actually plan by the quarter. So what I do, these are like about 50 cents if you get them on sale at Target, and I buy 12 packs. So I start off the year with 12 packs, and I give everyone one pack, and every quarter I switch out and give them a new pack because pencils will be missing, pencils will be broken. So every quarter they get a brand new pack of colored pencils and actually a brand new pack of all supplies. But so I do buy 12 packs of these at the beginning of the year, and we change it quarterly. But everyone starts off with 12 colored pencils, a 12 pack, as well as my oldest is actually the only one that gets markers because I hate markers. But so he's the only one that gets markers. And that way, if I have markers on anything, I know who let their markers disappear and who didn't put their markers away. So, but yeah, so he's the only one that gets markers. And then everyone gets a pack of crayons as well. And same thing as the colored pencils. I switch that out on a quarterly basis. And everyone gets a pack of watercolors. Now with the watercolors, I also switch that on a quarterly basis because they just get so, like, they are not great at making sure that their brushes are clean before they dip it into another color, and every color just turns out to be brown by the end of the year. So that's just mommy pet peeve. But yeah, so I switched that out. Now inside of their boxes, everyone is going, well, my oldest two are going to have these see-through sheets, which what I actually do in here, there's nothing in it right now because we haven't actually started school. But once we start school, what is going to be in here is their math sheets. They both do math, you see. And so I pull out 5 sheets for the week, taking into account that sometimes they will require more practice before their test. And so I will end up pulling out more sheets, but I start off the week initially with 5 sheets for each child when I do my Sunday like homeschool prep for the week. And so they just keep 5 sheets of their homeschool, of their math in here. Then we go on, next thing is this see-through sheet protector type washable marker thingy, which I love. So at the beginning of the year, I put in a sheet of computer paper. And what it is this is their dry erase board. I used to have dry erase boards for everyone, but they would just get so gross by the end of the year. And this is just so amazing. And also it was just a lot more difficult to like carry it around and carry it everywhere that it needed to be. And now with this, it's like paper, you know, and they're able to write on it with their dry erase markers and erase it and utilize it over and over again. They use it for their Good and the Beautiful curriculum. Whenever they need a washable marker, they use it to do spelling words. They use it for handwriting. It's really just so super easy and super simple. And it comes in a pack of like 12, I believe, or 20. It just comes with a bunch of them. So if I lose these or if something happens, it's not a big deal. And we just move on. We just grab another one. And it's not a big deal at all. The other thing that we keep in here is language arts. So all things language arts is kept in here. So this is the full language arts level 3 from the Good and the Beautiful, everything that's needed or everything, including the curriculum. So I have a whole video where I do a little flip through of that. So I will link that up above for you. The other thing that's kept in here is their seat work. So they transition between Explode the Code and Brain Quest when it comes to their seat work. And so that's what they do. So if they did Explode the Code one day, they do Brain Quest the next, and they just alternate one sheet in each. What they will get at the beginning of the year is they'll get a tab in order for them to mark their spot, and that way they don't have to flip through to find their spot, just to make their life easier if they want to or if not. Now, if you watched my 4th grade curriculum picks video, you will see that he is also, well, all my children do logic on a daily basis. And this is just to get their brains working and just ready for actual school. But it's a lot of different books, so it can't be kept in this box. It's just too much. It'll be too much in there. So I actually keep it in a bin underneath the cabinet, in this bin underneath the cabinet. And they go through, and if it's Monday, they know to grab the Monday Sudoku, and they work off one sheet and put it in there. If it's Tuesday, they grab the word search. And so they know, because number one, I will write the day on top of the book, but also they have their own planner, which tells them what they should be doing for that day. But yeah, so that's how we house it. Now on the bottom shelf is actually my bin. And in my bin is extra supplies and hole punchers and markers and pencils and money for counting and just extra tape and dice and just anything that I would need, as well as my homeschool planner, which I will link a video to show you what is in my homeschool planner. On this side is my daughter's shelf. Up here, she's a 1st grader, so she's working on finishing up her Bob books. These are the phonics cards that are with the good and the beautiful, and these are extra Matthew C. boxes. This is the extra Matthew C. blocks. The thing is, she will actually be using the blocks that is the digital set. But I've had these since my oldest was doing Matthew C. I am actually not sure if the digital set will work for her. For some kids, digital things work well. Some kids, they actually need to feel the manipulatives. So we have that up there just in case she needs to feel the manipulatives. And this is pretty much the same thing that's in my oldest, which is the all the logic things are in here. She has a couple of additional readers in here, and her binder and her box, and that's it. That's all that she has. And now to the preschooler. He has his bin right here. His bin is pink because it used to be his sister's bin, and I never changed out the bins. So his bin is pink, and he doesn't care. And then his, extra curriculum things, and I read what your preschooler needs to know to him. So that's in there. Now his shelf also has our, up here is the Good and the Beautiful history game and the teaching toolbox box for the Good and the Beautiful year 1, as well as the space science unit. We haven't started yet, so I still need to cut that and bind it and do all the prepping for that, which I'll do a video on that when I actually do that. On the bottom is our box for our electives, which houses our geography, social studies, history, and science will be in here as well once it's bound and put together. And then all the extra supplies that we need to do those things. And that's it. What I love about this under the island thing is that once it's closed, out of sight, out of mind, and no one's in here messing with things and pulling things out. They just honestly forget that it's there. So in one of the corner cabinets, right next to the couch, which has toys underneath it because such is mom life, that is where I house our circle time curriculum, because the honest truth is we grab this and then head straight over to the couch to sit down. So I thought, what a perfect spot for it. Let's put it as close to the couch as possible without it being out and our little one being able to get in there and rip everything apart. So this is where we keep our circle time things. And in the back is another bin just full of coloring books and crayons, because sometimes our little one will be quiet enough to listen and just join in along with us during circle time. Sometimes he's just not into it and he would prefer to just sit at the table that's right here and color. So just depends on his mood and how he's doing, but it's right here and available for us. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that made sense. I hope that showed you how you can homeschool even without a homeschool room, and how you can organize your things even without designated homeschool areas. So this is what works for us. We love it. It's amazing. It really allows for a lot of independence with our children and empowerment, which I'm a big proponent of, as well as just keeping things, everything has a house, everything has a home. So it helps keep things more clean and organized in our home. So question of the day, do you have a homeschool room or do you tend to homeschool around the table? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye. School everywhere. Close the door, please. I'm busy. That's what happens when you got kids. Oh, that's definitely going in the end.